After what some might say was a pretty lackluster week in Project 70, week number 31 ends with a bang. Because I need more 1971 Topps cards, because at the moment, no one is producing them. What happened to my love for 71 Topps? And look at that, just 1 week later, we get another brand new card from 1971 Topps. Today, it is courtesy of Fuji with Shohei Ohtani. But welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram is at CRT_sportscards. And of course, the website that you want to visit for everything related to Project 70 and also pre-order every single Project 70 card that gets released. It is my website, CRTsportscards.com. And now what a surprise it was on the website this afternoon. Topps actually released the Tuesday print runs on a Friday. This is the first time this has happened in many weeks, even maybe a couple of months. So what did those Tuesday cards look like? It was, of course, the tale of one card above the rest. That Keith Shore Shohei Ohtani comes in just over 7.1K. And if for any reason you were out there foil chasing with this card, you would have had to buy on average over 110 copies of that card to maybe hit one single foil. Good luck if you bought that many. Second place on Tuesday was that Fernando Tatis, just over 2,000. The Bo Jackson by Soulfly, just over 1.1K. And the card that we spent many minutes speaking about and theorizing, should I go by 30 of, based on the odds of the previous releases from Blue the Great and from Doc Ellis, comes in at 745, meaning if you bought a 10-pack, you may have a really good shot at hitting a foil. But let's be real here, nobody's foil chasing either of these four cards that released today. When you take a look at the average for the week, when you account for that Ohtani by Shore, you have an average PR right now of 2.1. If you remove that 7.1K Keith Shore, you're looking right now of the 7 cards just over 1.4K. The card, of course, that I am most curious to see what the print run is going to be, it is going to be the Wednesday Shohei Ohtani by the Sioux Surgeon. Now that Keith Shore is at that mark at 7.1, will that card make 10, 11, 12,000? I think really hitting a par D number here, 25, 27,000, I think is really out of the question, but I really think that card could end up being the #1 printed card of the week. And now before we speak about the cards that released today, and I announced the giveaway card for tonight's show, but if you follow me on Twitter, you know right now what card that is going to be. Let's talk about Spotlight 70. Spotlight 70, of course, is the art-based set that was designed by Andy Friedman that should have been shipping by now, but we all received word through email yesterday that that has now been pushed to the end of September. So if you've been following this channel around my Spotlight 70 coverage, it hasn't been that much, don't get me wrong, but if you've been on the website, I do have a page for Spotlight 70. We are now not going to see those cards until the end of the month. I'm excited. I did end up buying 30 boxes overall. I think I'm going to keep 10 back. I'm really excited to see what the secondary market does with these boxes around art cards, because from my understanding, we are going to have more pack-based art cards in 2022, and this is really the forefront, the first product really going after that pack-based market. So we'll see how it goes, but we have to wait for a few more weeks before we can crack open Andy Friedman's debut set with Topps. But now shifting back to Project 70 and the 4 cards that released today to end week number 31, I will also say it's quite amazing. We've already gone through 31 weeks. The weeks for me just fly by. 4 cards per day, 5 episodes usually a week. This is just an incredible way to really spend 2021 talking about Project 70. But today's free card giveaway, it was decided by you all on Twitter. Now, I'll be real here, there weren't many votes. There were under 40, but the card that won that poll, I have to honor the poll here. It is going to be the Fernando Tatis Jr. by Lauren Taylor. So right now in the comments, put your print run guess. The person nearest to print run without going over will win that card free for me. And the only other stipulation to the contest is this: you must be subscribed. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button right now. But along with that Tatis by Lauren Taylor, what other cards did we see today? First up was that Mike Trout by Jeff Staple. Second, of course, was that Tatis by Taylor. Third was Nolan Ryan by Brittany Palmer. And then fourth, we have Shohei Ohtani with 1971 Topps from Fuji. And so I guess the big question on today's cards is, are we going to see multiple 7 1,000 print run cards. Will we see that Mike Trout make 3,000 to 4,000, or will this Mike Trout by Jeff Staple end up being the lowest Mike Trout from Project 70 at this point? Because in the poll, very few people wanted to win this card for free. And for me, as someone who absolutely loves 1991 Topps, because it is the very first set I ever purchased as a 10 or 11-year-old at one of my very first card shows in El Paso, where I was born and raised. And so what I did for this card is I pulled out that 1991 Topps set. Now, I don't know with 100% fact that this is the original set. I do remember 10, 15 years ago buying a second set, but in my possession, my parents gave this to me about 5 to 6 years ago. So I think this is the set that I originally purchased when I was 10 or 11 years old. But this is why I like that Trout so much. It has nothing to do with the player, with the design. It has everything to do with the border. And when you think about 1991 Topps, what is that? That is 30 years ago. That is crazy for me to say out loud. But here is Chipper Jones from 1991 Topps. And of course it is ungraded. But you see, after 30 years, it has that real kind of tainted finish on the sides. And so when you look at that Mike Trout, the card looks like it's 30 years old. And so for me, that was my number one selling point on the card. And I will tell you right now, as a kid, Chipper Jones was my guy. And when you go back to this 1991 Topps card, some of you might know this, but the numbering of this card is actually upside down. Oh, there it is. It is 333. So maybe my love of the number 3 is traced all the way back to this Chipper Jones from 1991 Topps. So bravo Jeff Staple for this Mike Trout. Also, I will say, when it comes to the lighting here behind the camera, it may have made that border look really white. So I'll share a photo of it on Twitter. It'll make more sense as a photo versus a video with a light right in front of it. But moving on to the second card of the day, and you know what the theme of the day is? It's gonna be borders. Nolan Ryan here by Brittany Palmer, 1975 Topps. This is a card and this is a year that I've started to really like more and more, because I think the artists have done a really, really great job with 1975 Topps. And the first artist who started us on this track around 75 Topps, it was none other than Jeff Staple with his Subway Series subset. And now if you followed my channel throughout a majority of Project 70, you will know that I have not had the best affection when it came to the Brittany Palmer cards. They haven't really connected with me in the way other artists' cards do. But this card from 75 Topps, I just absolutely love the Astros jersey going into the border. I think right now, this is Brittany Palmer's best card in Project 70. And so we'll see how well that Nolan Ryan sells when it's paired with Trout, Tatis, and Ohtani. What a great day to release a card. But third up here is now the third best selling artist in the set, but she will be second after this card gets released, because Ermsey just passed her with his recent card. But we have Lauren Taylor with Fernando Tatis Jr. from 1998 Topps. When you think back to 1998 Topps, what is the most distinct feature about 98 Topps? It's that gold border, but it's not iconic like 1971 Topps. And that's okay, because not everything can be iconic. But when you take a look at this Tatis, you have the smile. This also pairs very nicely with her Tony Gwynn. You have the sunglasses, you have the celebration of Fernando Tatis in the actual jersey. I think the best thing about Lauren Taylor's set is it's so continuous. We know what to expect, whether it's Ohtani, whether it's Tatis, or any player going forward. We know the style. She's not throwing us for a loop every other release. It's very static, it's excellent, and this is going to be another top selling card for Lauren Taylor. But let's bring it home with the 20th card from 1971 Topps. This is the third Shohei Ohtani of the week. Now 22 releases on the set, and this is Fuji's 12th card overall. If you're very curious on the background, what does it say? It says, "Let's go Angels." So there is your translation with the autograph. This is from 1971 Topps. I could gush about this card for a long time, but here is the great thing about Fuji. Fuji has returned to their roots. We have a no-face Ohtani. Fuji tried to get away from this a couple of releases ago with that Babe Ruth and said, I'm going to go more graphical for the rest of the set, but then there was a very quick U-turn, and I'm so happy that they did that because you have the clouds. The clouds are a very distinct feature and something I really, really like, not only from Project 70 Fuji, but from Project 2020. That King of the Hill Sandy Koufax card for me is one of my favorite Fuji cards. And this Ohtani, this could be a better selling Ohtani than that Keith Shore Ohtani from today. We will see in the next couple of days. We will see how well this card does, but I'm just so happy to get our 20th 1971 Topps card in Project 70. This will now complete the daily download for Friday in Project 70. Week 31 is complete. If you liked the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. But I'm also now not 100 convinced. What's that?